Have you ever met someone and the second they say their name, it's just gone? Not because you weren't listening, you were. But your brain was busy doing something else, reading their eyes, the tightness in their smile, the way their voice dipped when they said nice to meet you. You caught everything about them, except the one thing you were supposed to remember. And later, when you blank on their name, you feel stupid, like you failed at something a child could do. But here's the truth nobody tells you. Your brain didn't mess up, it was just paying attention to something deeper. You know that feeling, right? When someone introduces themselves and you're nodding, smiling, shaking their hand, and their name floats past you like smoke. You heard it. You even repeated it in your head for half a second, but it's already slipping, already fading. And meanwhile, you've catalogued 50 other things about them. The way they held your gaze a second too long, or didn't hold it at all. The tension in their shoulders, that tiny pause before they laughed, the exhaustion hiding behind their energy. You saw all of it, absorbed all of it, but their name vanished, and it makes you feel like something's wrong with you. Like you're broken at basic human interaction, because society acts like remembering names is the baseline of caring. Forget someone's name and you're rude, careless, not paying attention. But what if that's not true? What if forgetting their name doesn't mean you forgot them? What if it means you remembered them in a way that goes deeper than language? Your brain is not a recording device. It doesn't capture everything equally. It's more like a filter that's constantly deciding what matters, and it makes those decisions fast, milliseconds fast. When you meet someone, there's a flood of information hitting you all at once. Their face, their voice, their energy, the feeling they give off, the story their body language is telling. And somewhere in all that chaos, they say their name. One word, a label, a piece of information that feels flat compared to everything else you're processing. So your brain makes a call, it prioritizes. And if you're someone who reads people, if you're wired to pick up on emotional cues, your brain is going to choose the feeling over the fact. Every single time. This isn't failure, it's just how you're built. You remember the essence of people, not the labels. Let me ask you something. Think about the last time you forgot someone's name, but remembered everything else. You could describe the way they laughed, that little catch in their voice when they talked about something painful, the way their whole face changed when they relaxed for just a second. You remembered the moment, the feeling, the truth underneath their words, but their name? Blank. And when someone asks you, wait, what was their name again? You feel that spike of shame, that flash of, oh God, I'm the worst. Because we're taught that names are sacred, that forgetting someone's name means you didn't care enough, didn't try hard enough, weren't present enough. But that's backwards. You were too present. You were so tuned in to who they actually were that the name became background noise. Here's what's happening in your brain. Different types of memory live in different places. Facts, names, dates, that semantic memory. It lives mostly in your left hemisphere. Very logical, very organized, very detached. But feelings, impressions, the emotional texture of a moment, that's processed in your right hemisphere and deep in your limbic system, the ancient emotional core of your brain. And here's the thing. These two systems don't always play nice together. They're both running, both processing, but they're not coordinated. So when you meet someone and your emotional brain lights up like a damn fireworks show, your logical brain trying to file away their name is basically whispering into a hurricane. The name gets drowned out. Not because you're careless, but because the emotional information is so loud, so overwhelming, so important to your nervous system that it takes priority. This is why you can see someone years later and instantly remember how they made you feel. The exact quality of their sadness, the specific way they tried to hide their loneliness. But you still can't remember if their name was Sarah or Sandra. The face carried meaning. The name was just noise. And there's something else. Something more personal. If you grew up in a world where reading people wasn't optional, where you had to scan faces for safety, where love was unpredictable and you learned to track mood shifts like a survival skill, then your brain got really, really good at emotional processing. Kids in chaotic homes don't have the luxury of ignoring emotional cues. They become little emotion detectives. They learn to read a parent's face to figure out if today's going to be safe or scary. They memorize the exact tone that means danger's coming, the particular kind of silence before everything explodes. Those kids grow up into adults who can walk into a room and feel the tension before anyone says a word, who know someone's lying even when the words are perfect, who remember faces with this eerie photographic precision because faces were their early warning system. But names don't keep you safe. Names don't tell you what's about to happen. Names are just labels, disconnected from survival. So the brain keeps doing what it was trained to do, prioritize the face, the feeling, the emotional truth. If that's you, if you've always been the one who sees too much, feels too much, picks up on things nobody else notices, then forgetting names isn't a bug. It's a feature. Your attention lives somewhere deeper than surface-level facts, and you can't turn that off. But God, it's lonely sometimes, isn't it? Because even though you're doing something extraordinary, nobody sees it that way. When you forget a name, people just think you weren't listening, that you don't care. And if you try to explain, no, I remember the way their voice changed when they talked about their mom, or I noticed they kept touching their wedding ring like it hurt. You sound weird, intense, like you're doing too much. So you stop explaining. You just apologize, say you're bad with names, play it off like it's some quirky flaw, when really it's the opposite. You cared too much, paid too much attention, just not to the thing society decided matters. Psychologists have a term for this: emotional encoding. It's how memories get stamped with feeling. The stronger the emotion attached to something, the deeper it sticks. And if you experience the world through feeling first, then everything you remember is soaked in emotion. Facts feel empty, names feel hollow, but the feeling of a person, the essence of who they are under the performance, that lives in you forever. This is why you walk into rooms and immediately sense things. The tension between two people even though they're smiling, the lie someone's telling even though their words are smooth, the sadness someone's carrying even though they're laughing. Your memory isn't tuned to names and dates, it's tuned to emotional frequency, and most people aren't broadcasting on that channel, but living like this costs you something. Because the world runs on names, networking events, professional introductions, small talk that requires you to remember labels, not depth. And every time you blank on a name, you feel like you're failing at being a functional adult. You start doubting yourself. Maybe I'm just selfish. Maybe I'm not trying hard enough. Maybe something's actually wrong with me. So you try all the tricks, repeat their name 3 times, use it immediately in conversation, make up some weird mnemonic device, and sometimes it works, but most of the time it still slips away. Because the problem isn't effort. The problem is your brain is asking a different question. It's not asking, what are they called? It's asking, who are they? And once you see that, once you understand that forgetting names isn't about carelessness, but about caring in a different way, something shifts. The shame loosens a little. You start to see that your memory isn't broken. It's just working in a language most people don't speak. And here's the beautiful part, the part nobody talks about. While everyone else is collecting names like Pokemon cards, you're collecting something rare. You're collecting moments, essences, the unspoken truths people carry but never say out loud. Years later, you might not remember what someone's called, but you'll remember exactly how they made the room feel, the hidden strength they didn't know they had, the kindness they gave even when they were hurting. That kind of memory doesn't help you at networking events. It doesn't make you good at cocktail parties, but it makes you good at something else, something harder, something more human. You're good at seeing people, really seeing them, past the performance, past the mask, down to the core, and maybe that's the gift hiding inside the forgetting. You're terrible with names, but you're extraordinary with souls. So next time you blank on someone's name, don't be so quick to beat yourself up. Don't apologize like you've committed some social crime, because while you're fumbling for what to call them, you're holding something more valuable. You're holding who they really are. And in a world obsessed with labels and credentials and first impressions, that kind of memory is quietly radical. You're not forgetting. You're remembering different. And that difference, even when it feels like a burden, is also a kind of magic. People are more than their names. Connection is deeper than recall. And sometimes the most important things we remember are the ones we never find words for. So if this is you, if names slip through your hands like water but faces stay like photographs, listen, you're not broken. You're not failing. You're not bad at something simple. You're succeeding at something profound. You're remembering people the way they actually deserve to be remembered. Not as labels, but as living, breathing, feeling human beings. And that memory, the one that lives in your chest, not your head, is worth more than any name ever could be. If this hit you somewhere deep, if you've carried shame for forgetting names while remembering everything else, drop a comment. Tell me what you remember about people, not their names, the other stuff, the stuff nobody else sees. Because this channel is for people like you, the ones who feel too much, see too deeply, remember in ways that don't fit neatly into conversations. Hit subscribe if you want more of this, and know that your memory isn't broken. It's just beautiful in a way most people will never understand.